Does 105 work for them, Ranger?
Let me check. Five works.
So we're doing 105?
Yes.
Yep. Thank you, baby.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us tonight. We've got ourselves an 18 versus 18 matchup between Esprit de Corps, who we're playing as the Allies, and the Line, who we're playing as Axis. The midpoint here is Checkpoint. The map is St. Mary Glaze. I'm butchering that. Taka's going to kill me. St. Mary Glaze. Yeah, should have a good matchup tonight. These teams, this is their third time facing each other in the 18 versus 18 format. Thus far, Esprit de Corps has come out on top both times, although the very first matchup in this tournament between the two teams was an absolute nail biter and was an overtime win. So expect a close match tonight. I'd be surprised by anything less than that. And we're going to get started here in 10 seconds, and I'll get the countdown timer here going right on the money, hopefully. So let's get started here. All right, we are off to the races. So let's go zoom in and go find our intrepid explorers. Here we have the Blueberry Horde of Esprit de Corps. The Allies coming on the left side of the screen from their two fixed garrison locations up top and down below here. And then over on the right, we have the gentleman from the Line pushing in as well. I guess we call them oranges? I don't know, blueberries. What's the fruit equivalent of the opposing team? I don't know. Someone smarter than me is going to have to come up with something. This is a relatively balanced midpoint from what I can tell. I haven't played this myself in the 18 versus 18 format, of course. I've fought over this many, many times in full 50 versus 50s. I will say the Allied side is a little more vulnerable to getting boxed out if they lose the opening fight, whereas the Axis side has a little bit more real estate here in this section relative to the strong point to work their way back in from cover without getting mowed down in open fields, which I have seen happen in this format for matches that I have watched. All right, we got a little cap pressure from Esprit to start us off here. Looks like the strong point is equally centered here, so this is just winning some gunfights, which is the reason that's happening. Yeah, Esprit's winning more gunfights. They are... I don't know that I've seen an Esprit player die yet. And those bluebird... Oh, there we got one on the left. Someone went down. Yeah, Esprit looks like they are in solid position. Definitely much stronger numbers in the strong point here. Yeah, this is looking like this is going to come up Esprit very quickly. TL is just disappearing here. Okay, so we just watched right there behind that hedgerow. For reference, there was clearly an OP spawn there, so we've got... keep in mind, remember what that is. Esprit with more than halfway capped here. They're calling out a OP over here on the right side. That might be correct. Esprit has this house locked down on that. Oh, there's an OP back behind that hedgerow. I'd be surprised if there was one in that. Unless that rocket shot got it already. Raycast goes down. Mage trying to make a play. Yeah, I'm pretty confident based on where we saw that. Yeah, there's the OP. And I believe there's another one down there. That's correct. Yep, so 2 of them on this hedgerow. The line, unfortunately, is pretty much boxed out almost immediately. That's kind of surprising. I was expecting Esprit's going to get the cap. Esprit gets the cap with 27 minutes left to go. They got to hold it, so took 3 minutes to get that. Which, considering it takes 2 minutes to cap the point and about a minute to run up there, I wasn't paying super close attention, but I don't know that the line ever contested this. That's about as fast as you could cap a midpoint in this format. Raycast going up into the plane here. I think there's some limits to how far up on the plane players can go in this format. I know you can do what he's doing right now. I don't think you can go up on the wing, though. I could be mistaken. Somebody knows the rules better than I could put that in the chat if you understand that more than I do. I'm not fluent in 18 versus 18 rules. Only conversant. All right, lots of smoke by TL. That's a smart play. I'll help them push up. And Esprit doesn't necessarily have this this section of the town across the road covered yet, so TL definitely has a chance to push back and take this. This is still a fight. Esprit definitely won the opener, no questions there. That really wasn't much of a contest, but I would not count TL out. We've got plenty of game left to play, and they're doing what you should do right now, which is push right up the middle here with some smokes and try and get your toehold into the strong point. That's the right play from a veteran team. They know what they're doing. Now, what I'm curious about is where the third... Yeah, okay, they've correctly marked where that OP is. Remember, we found that. Now, I'm curious to know where that third OP is. So it looks like Esprit is far more committed up on the left side of the screen here by map edge. Okay, I think we just saw the spawn wave behind that house, so we've got those OPs found. That's in the ballpark, whoever Able Squad lead is. But I think it's a little to the left, right behind that house. Rocket comes in, unsuccessful. Yeah, that MG from Esprit, let's take a look at who that is. Let's zoom in here to find out who that is. Fortress. Yeah, let's oh, sorry for that jerky camera movement here. Let's just take a look at what he can see. Yeah, that's oh, he's got to go out this right side. He's got to go out the left side. So he can't really see these folks running up. It doesn't look like from where he's mounted up. They've got to get a little closer. Clownface senses the danger. That's a lot of smoke. That's obvious. That's coming from a big push. That's multiple players. It takes to do that. Clownface throws some nades. Nothing connects yet. Grenade out. Doesn't look like it gets anyone. Clownface, I'm sure, is telling his squad that they've got some issues. Rocket is unsuccessful. Let's get a bird's eye view of this. Swarm going up against Clown. Drive by high speed. Epson, he goes down. Who do we have pushing in here? Phil Bulby. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Right on the other side of the wall from Clown. He's bandaging. Clown doesn't know he has an opportunity. There's smoke. He could hop that. Of course, he'd have no way of knowing. Nade's going out. Clown's just going to hold that. Looks like that was a nade from, I'm guessing, high speed. I think Clown is out of nades. And that push is wiped out. Wiped out. Raycast, only one alive there, but we're going to get another spawn wave here, I'm sure, momentarily. Well, spawn wave is just one player. Looks like TL is still committing the majority of their forces up the center towards the strong point, which is what you'd expect, given that the strong point is so important for adding cap pressure. And it's obviously important in any format, but in 18 versus 18, even just having one player in the strong point can make all the difference. For those who've seen matches on Roar River House, you know what I'm talking about. It's critically important. Excel starting to get behind him. Chicken Waffles goes down. Excel's probably going to take out Zafad. Here's him. He's gone. Does he take out Sarge? Just go past him. Does he know he's there? Sarge is kind of hiding in a bush. I doubt Excel knows he's there. Sarge is playing smart and conservative here. He's waiting. Excel, I'm sure, heard that shot. Oh, just waiting. Excel's going to get overrun here soon. Atrocity's coming up behind him. Someone drops Atrocity. Excel gets lucky with that one. Gets saved by whoever took out Atrocity. Excel going on a little run here. Going to try and get an OP. Excel takes down Cafe Mocha. Chicken and Waffles. Excel 1v1. This is critical because Chicken and Waffles is the squad leader. So if he goes down and the OP goes down, that is trouble. Excel is going to get that OP. That is a huge takedown. Excel, I'm sure, would take that trade for his life. One life in this game any day of the week. So that squad is going to be totally reset. And just a reminder, they squad. Yep, there we go. There's that reset. That's going to be significant. This is going to give Spree a chance to start boxing out TL. TL has got to turn it up to 11 here to hold on to territory, because this is a moment when they're going to be significantly outnumbered. As I was beginning to say earlier, for those perhaps less familiar with the format of 18 versus 18, squads cannot swap. People cannot swap between OPs. They have to stay with their squad. So if the OP and the squad leader is wiped, they've got to go back to these, these garrison spawns, which act as HQs. So these are the ones for Spree, and then I'll use marks that the team can't see. Request supplies and observe as a safe one. Those are the locations for TL roughly. And I'm seeing 2 squad leads come back from there, which tells me that 2 OPs are down, and Spree is in full control of this area down here. We've got still about 2/3 of the match to go, just over 20 minutes left. And it's not looking good for TL. I believe there's probably still 1 OP up here, unless it's moved. Not seeing it, so maybe given the situation, this probably would be the smart play to move it back. Raycast goes down. Oh, well, that means we've got a squad leader back there. So, all right, looks like every single OP from TL is wiped within fairly quick succession. So that is that's not good. That's my professional opinion. That's not good. For TL, they are going to be in a it's going to be an uphill fight. We'll just say that to regain their footing. If you've watched a number of these matches or participated in them, you know that when this happens, particularly in maps that have, this open space like this, what can happen is that one team can just box another team out, and then what you essentially have is incentivized or sanctioned spawn camping for the remainder of the match. Now, it's not that bad yet, but there's not a lot of margin here. TL really needs to play everything right, and they probably need to get a little lucky too. Interesting to note that Spree does not seem to have matched TL's strength over here on the right. This is an opportunity potentially to punch back through and get a little bit of a foothold. I believe they are right at the edge of the sector they can go in, though. So let's take a look at the map. So this line right here is the furthest section they can go. Let's just bring our camera right over it just to get a sense. Okay, so they really can't even use this building here, which would be really helpful. But they have to get up to that area where High Speed Hilly is, and then they're going to be potentially vulnerable from people on their right. So this is a tough spot. I would think, and I'm not an expert in the strategy here, but I would think this area here where we're zoomed in on is probably where TL wants to put the majority of their weight, because they can use the hedges on the sides to make more of a frontline push. But even so, that's just kind of going down a funnel of death. So not a lot of good options left. Not a lot of good options left. At this point, it frankly becomes less about skill or anything like that, and it just kind of comes down to luck. At this point, if TL was gonna push it over, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but it's just, provided teams are even relatively evenly matched in skill by the time it gets to this, and mistakes have been made or things have gone wrong or gunfights have been lost, and you find yourself in this position, it's kind of too late. Again, we've seen dramatic turnarounds in the tournament before, so I wouldn't count them out, but I also wouldn't put any money on it. Esprit is just kind of in full control here. I am really, really surprised that this isn't more of a contest, given how evenly matched these teams have been in the past. Let's take a look at what we got going up the middle here. We've got members of Esprit just pushing up there. That who is that? That is Excel is right up to the boundary. And let's see. Esprit's OPs are still very conservatively placed, so they're not in danger by pushing up. Got quite a large formation of TL players up here. The thing is, you know, if you look at this terrain, it's obviously very predictable. They're not going to run through an open field, and so, you know, Esprit doesn't really need to push up. They can just hold this territory. They can move from, they can sit from cover and just hold angles, and it's just kind of running down the clock, folks. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. It's solo list goes down. Looks like Fortress has not left his spot up in that building. Probably transition windows, though. Rocket goes out, misses. You know, if TL could figure out, I don't know how they would, but if they could figure out where Esprit OP is, maybe rocket it, get a lucky shot, that, you know, they could potentially kind of leapfrog that into a breakthrough. But that's the kind of thing we're talking about is probably necessary at this point. Yeah, I will just say candidly, this is the Achilles heel of this format. It's got a lot of strengths, but this just isn't one of them, which is that when a team gets down like this, there's not a lot they can do to come back. It's just not as flexible as 49v49s or 50v50s or even a 35v35. There's just so little margin for error, which is also what makes it entertaining to watch, particularly when it's close, because every gunfight, every decision has critical impact, can sway the game. And yet, once that balance is flipped, or the scales are tipped over, yeah, it just kind of becomes something else entirely. It's that danger of it turning into this, which makes it interesting. But after that happens, it becomes, unfortunately, far less enjoyable to watch. And having played in a match like this a couple of times before, thankfully on the side that won, I can say it. It's a bit of a grind. Well, not much of a change in circumstance here. Slight trickle up on the upper right. TL going to try to make a breakthrough, but with Fortress up on that MG and then a handful of other players there, it's just not going to happen. Just even if they take down one or two, there's still 3 or 4 more, and they can get back at the Spree players can get back at the OP. It's just, this is just a slaughter. The only chance, and it's not a strong one, is right up the center here. Curious to see if Esprit does push up all the way to the line, if they try to, or if they're just going to be content to play right where they are here. This, the active sector section up there. And as you can just see, that's pretty full control there. Well, since the big picture seems to be fairly steady, let's go enjoy some close-ups on some gunfights. Let's go see what Soloist is up to. Soloist peek in the corner, takes out Sarge, who hops over. Ooh, good moment to watch Soloist. Takes out Cafe Mocha as well. Holding the corner, he retreats to load. Smart move. Unlucky. Ooh, that feels personal. Even his corpse gets an extra grenade. F's in the chat for Soloist. Good try, though. Good try. Good job taking out 2 players. Third naked. Guys, he's dope. Okay, I think we found where the entertainment is. Holy cow. How many nades are you gonna throw in this courtyard? Oh, okay. That was funny. Hey, this actually just made a little bit of a breakthrough for TL. Well done. They're taking a little bit of territory here. Previously, they were at that hedgerow on the left where Chicken and Waffles just spawned. That's as far up as we've seen them get recently. So they get a little toehold. Spree getting pushed back just a little bit. It's not threatened yet, but this is how it's going to happen if it's going to happen. Slow and steady progress. Sarge pushing up. Does Excel see him? I don't know that Excel sees him. Excel is a little bit in danger here. Sarge and Cheeks is bandaging. Sarge is there. Excel picks up the threat. Takes a shot. He takes out Sarge. Good shooting by Excel. Cheeks is holding the corner. Now Excel knows he's there. Valhalla's coming up to help. Got ourselves a 2v1. Nade over. Oh. Excel comes out with a W there. Didn't need Valhalla's help. There's a little extra nade there for security. And looks like this push is starting to struggle here. And I'm observing that up in the north, looks like Esprit is starting to try the box out and push up, which is going to be challenging. What do we have? We still have. Looks like Esprit has posted up 2 players here. This would be Sololess, Ram. Oh, and there's another one up here. Jonas with an MG. I'm not sure what Jonas can see up here. I'm wondering if he's just an insurance policy. Not that he's actively looking at anything. Okay, he's prone up on the fence. He did his core workout this week. His abs are strong. Posting up on. Oh, he's getting shot at. I know where he's at. You know, maybe he could see those guys up on the north side, but the people up the center are already out of his view. So he's repositioning. He's been found out. Probably going to find a better position. I can't imagine TL would try to make a push on this side anyways. But I'll tell you what, with that MG there, they definitely won. So I can understand the argument for posting him up there. All right, TL's push has evaporated here in the center. I don't know if I'm going to... yep, I was going to say, I think we're going to see an OP go down. Who took that out? That would have been Lost. Good job to Lost. So that center push is gone, and we're going to have some spawning back at the garrisons. So at this point, the fight has transitioned almost entirely to the north. As a result of that, we'll see if TL tries or is able to reestablish a push in the center. But this is starting to look real grim. Yeah, all 3 squad leaders relatively close to each other. All of them in this little section here. Chicken and Waffles pushing up. He's desperately going to try to reestablish some sort of presence on here. He's going to put the OP up over here. That's smart what he's doing right there. For those who may not be as experienced with this format, what he's doing there is intentionally placing. I'm going to just get it. I'm going to guess. If he didn't do this intentionally, it was smart and he should do it in the future. But I'm going to give him credit for it. I'm sure it's intentional. He placed the OP away from the hedgerow so that a player can't just sneak up along the hedgerow and take out the OP with proximity. They actually have to round the corner, which is very smart in this particular format where OPs are so valuable. It's a veteran play right there by Chicken Waffles. It's a small thing, but it matters. Cafe Mocha making up the southern flank right now. Hearing some shots from back here coming off that garrison spawn. That's a long distance fight across the field. My money's on the MG. Jonas is a great MG player, and yeah, would not want to have to be a rifleman or an automatic rifleman facing down that open field. Yeah, the automatic rifleman goes down. All right, Esprit's got an infantry marker out here. They have picked up on the fact that there's a threat that's reemerged here. We have a medic, Sarge. I've noticed a lot more medics than any other comp format in this 18 versus 18, which again makes sense. You know, it's so costly if a squad leader goes down. Sarge going up against Shaka Zulu and Hitman Alex. They seem to be running past each other. It doesn't seem that anybody's noticed the other team's presence. I doubt. Okay, Hitman Alex goes down. I doubt Shaka would turn around and notice that. I won't know why he would take to look that way. Shaka with the takedown. Swarm. Random goes down. Shaka, one-man army right now, facing off some pretty significant odds. Shaka's backing off. Valhalla's going to help him. Shaka goes down. Mage with the hipfire MG. It's a sharp grenade that goes out. Mage goes down. I could guess it was Valhalla who took him out. Unless there's someone else over here. Yeah, it was almost certainly Valhalla who got that kill. Now Valhalla makes up the tip of the spear for Esprit at this section. He's a little bit alone, given the odds of... Ooh, this is a significant cluster of teal players. That rocket was overshot a little bit. Did not connect with any targets. That rocket hit. Could have been worse, though. Teal got off a little lucky with that one. If that had landed just a little bit shorter, that would have taken out all three of them. TL looking like they have abandoned the northern push. I was wondering if they were going to do that. They probably should have done that earlier. With only 6 minutes to go, I think it's probably time for all three squads to be up in the middle and just pushing here. I think it's the only viable section. As I said earlier, not to say that it's easy. There is no easy option, but of the options, I think this is probably the only thing that's somewhat realistic. Yeah, TL is doing a human wave attack here, which I think is exactly what they should do. I think this is smart. Yeah, hey, look at this. They're making progress. It'll be grinding, and they still have a ways to go to get into the strong point or to get real cap pressure, but again, it's all you can hope for at this moment. So we've got one OP here. Curious to know where the other outposts are. Haven't spotted them yet. I'm guessing they're in this vicinity. Spree seems to have snuffed this out pretty well. There's a whole other spawn wave. But that OP is within grenade distance from Hitman Alex and Shaka. Shaka's about to have his hands full. Takes down Sarge, takes down Cheeks. Random pins Shaka down. Valhalla's coming in to reinforce. Shaka's back in the fight. Takes out Chicken and Waffles. Shaka's going for Random. Random comes out on top. Shaka managed to take out 3 of the 4. Spawn wave is back. Satchel Sloth is right next to... What's going on here? Okay, Hitman Alex goes down. Satchel Sloth somehow snuck by him. That's where the other OP is. Okay, it's in this trench. So we've got 2 OPs. 3 OPs. That other one's right there. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Okay, so right where Cruz just went down, or excuse me, Curse went down. That's where one of them is. There's one right in the center of my screen, and there's one right next to this tree. This is one breakthrough play from Esprit. I mean, granted, Esprit got pushed back a little bit here. But one breakthrough play could just wipe TL. I mean, I guess you got to come up the middle. There's not really any other way to do it, but it also just speaks to the moment of how precarious the situation is for TL. I will say that thus far, hats off to Esprit de Corps. They have really just played error-free ball here. Swole control of the MG. That's the answer to Jonas, I guess. Can't say I know what he's shooting at, though. You know, sometimes you just gotta shoot the machine. Doesn't matter if you hit something. It just makes a good sound. You know? Swole control goes down. Probably would have, I'm guessing he was trying to prone and lay down some suppressing fire down that trench line or that hedgerow path. That would have been helpful. Unfortunately, he died before he could do it. It was a good idea. I'm sure he'll try again. Nothing really happening up on the north side. I'm surprised Esprit has as many players back there as they do. It's kind of impressive to think about that. TL has their entire team right here, and Esprit has maybe 2/3 of theirs and is holding TL back in this area. There we go. Control does his thing. Smart, although that rocket sees him. Saber rocket can take him out. First rocket missed. Here comes the next one. It's also short. Control is still up and holding that area down. Valhalla sees him. Valhalla takes him out. And if Valhalla knows where the OPs are and throws a nade, he could get him. Looks like that one by the tree has moved. I don't know where it's been updated to catch that. But I believe the one in the hedgerow is still there, and Chicken and Waffles is still there. So just one OP has moved. Let's see, you don't see any concentration down on that side of the map. It could have been wiped. Where's the squad leader? Still only see 2 squad leaders. There we go. Okay, yep, it got wiped. Squad leaders spawning back at the garrison. That makes sense. Yeah, just over a minute to go, and I think we can probably predict how this one's going to end. Rocket connects for Esprit. Short of a miracle at this point, TL is going to get shut out. And Esprit de Corps will go 3-0 against TL and will stay undefeated in the tournament. Esprit de Corps spending its entire time in the tournament, as well as TL, in Group A. Season 0 of the 18 versus 18. There is an overtime mechanic, so if somehow, by some miraculous play, as I say that, here comes a rifleman making it up the middle, full Chad move here. Who is this? Let me give you credit for this awesome play. Cheeks, good job. Way to pick it up there. Okay, well, caster curse there. Sorry, bud. It was good, though. You should be proud of that. There is an overtime mechanic, so if in the next 30 seconds somehow TL, all they have to do to keep the game alive is get a toe hold of cap pressure, but I mean, that's just not happening. Let's be honest here. Let's not kid ourselves. Yeah, Esprit at this point is all the way up to the line. It's completely boxed out. CL. This is it's been a bit of a massacre. Well, 5 seconds left to play in regulation, and that's going to be game here. And that is game. Well, good game to both teams. Obviously, hats off to Esprit de Corps. Just a solid performance. Really just commanding performance. No question who was in control of that game from the very get-go. Esprit with a very, very convincing win. And I will say hats off to TL. You found yourself in a difficult position, and you did the best you could with it. Certainly a strong team, and I expect them to be back putting up a good fight in their next matches. They are an experienced and seasoned team. Do not count them out. Do not count them out. All right, folks, we're going to call it there. Thanks for joining, and hope you enjoyed watching the stream.